Right, welcome to the original hot hatch. This is the Autobianchi A112 Abarth, and today we're checking this vehicle out because it can now be engine swapped in Gran Turismo 7. So, looking at the history of the Autobianchi, this vehicle first released in 1971. This is why a lot of people may consider it being the founding father of the hot hatch genre. Because with it coming out in 1971, it produced a lot of power, extremely lightweight, and it being a hot hatch, obviously. Now, over time, the car has gone through some changes, and that's why with the 1985 model that we have in game, we see that this is a 1-liter inline 4-cylinder that produces 70 brake horsepower, it's front engine, front wheel drive, and it only weighs 710 kgs. So this is the formula for a hot hatch. It's front engine, front wheel drive, lightweight, and produces a lot of power. Now the thing is, 70 horsepower was a lot of power back in the day, but according to modern day standards, it's slow. That's exactly what it is. So on screen right now is my fully upgraded Autobianchi, and this vehicle produces 252 brake horsepower and comes in at a weight of 624 kgs. So we squeezed out a lot more power from the standard engine, and we see now we actually pull out more weight from the vehicle. So with that being said, when you want to take this vehicle around a circuit or you want to race it, well, the competition that you're going to come up against is some vehicles that you may not have expected. Because tell me why, when I went around Kyoto Driving Park, I found myself coming up against a Porsche 911 GT3 RS, we had a BAC Mono, and a Bugatti Veyron. How they thought that a little Autobianchi Abarth was going to be able to compete to a Bugatti Veyron is absolutely crazy to me. But that's the thing, it did. It managed to complete the event. I finished in first. Yes, it was a tight race because the thing is, around the corners, that is exactly where this vehicle shines. The minute you hit the straightaway, you are gonna get your doors blown off. It's crazy how through the corners you can really just throw it and really drive a slow car fast. But when it hits the straightaway, you really see how underpowered this vehicle is. But thankfully, we can now engine swap this car. But before we do that, around the circuit, we did find ourselves sitting a fastest lap time of a 1 minute 47 second lap around Kyoto Driving Park. Which, look, according to modern day vehicles, that is not fast. It's not really that impressive. We see that there are some modern day vehicles that can set that lap time standard, but considering the fact that this vehicle is from 1985 and it's using its standard engine, this is very impressive. This is quite fast, and well, look, you just saw the proof. This vehicle is able to beat out some of the fastest new supercars and even hypercars that are in the game. So do not look down upon the little Autobianchi, but we need to fix the biggest issue with this vehicle, and that is straight line speed. So now, if we head on over to GT Auto and we go and see what engine swap it is, well, we see it's the engine swap out of the Garage RCR Civic. So this engine swap will cost you 250,000 credits, which is a decent price for an engine swap. But look, after you spend it, you do want to head on over to the tuning shop to just fully upgrade it and see what the full capabilities of this engine is. So once you do that, well, you are going to be left with a vehicle that produces 599 brake horsepower and comes in at a weight of 731 kgs. So we see that the vehicle does weigh more than it did standard, but the fact that it produces 600 brake horsepower is just absolutely insane. So let's see now how it actually handles this power around Kyoto Driving Park. So we're not gonna put it up against any circuits. It's just gonna be me trying to set the fastest lap possible, and this is where we run into a little issue. With it producing 600 brake horsepower going to the front wheels, well, it struggles to put the power down. I found myself wheel spinning all the way up into 4th gear before it finally got any sign of traction in 5th. And that is the biggest issue. With you spinning up the wheels, you aren't putting the power down, you aren't going as fast as you should be. But the thing is, I'm on racing soft tires. I'm on the grippiest compounded tires we have in Gran Turismo 7. What this vehicle desperately needed was an all-wheel drive conversion to really put all the power down, because if this vehicle was all-wheel drive, when I tell you, this would be the literal definition of a pocket rocket. It would put to shame many cars that are over 1,000,000 credits. That's how fast this Autobianchi will be. But sadly, with no 4-wheel drive conversion and with the lighting up its tires every second, well, the vehicle was averaging lap times around the 1 minute 43 second mark, which is not great. So with that being said, the engine swap, it does improve the top line speed. However, it doesn't really feel worth it in the end, because yes, we are getting the biggest issue fixed, but we are just lighting up the wheels and we aren't really feeling the full capabilities. Now, to get around this and really feel just an improvement and still have a decent handling vehicle, well, you want to head on over and just detune the engine, bring the power down a bit and just keep it in line, keep it under control, and that way you can minimize the wheel spin and still have a lot more power than what the standard engine was able to produce. So it's a win-win if you actually detune the engine, because if you run it fully upgraded, well, you're just gonna be smoking up those front wheels. Now, what was surprising for me with this vehicle is the fact of when it comes to cornering, it doesn't really understeer. I mean, 600 horsepower front wheel drive, I thought this vehicle was not gonna turn, but that was not the case. The vehicle did. So it's really just you needing to go in, get it tailored to what you feel will be the best for you to handle, and honestly, you are gonna be left with an absolutely fun vehicle. A lot of the people overlook the Autobianchi, they won't try it out, they won't test it, but genuinely, this is one of the best classic hot hatches in the game, and a lot of people have never even tried this vehicle, and that's crazy to me. So with that being said, if you haven't tried out this vehicle yet, I recommend you do. If you want to get your hands on it, you can find it in the used car dealership for 31,800 credits. So it's a cheap vehicle, and the only issue is you have to wait for it to come into the dealership. Besides that, the vehicle is fun. I found this vehicle is actually great for events. So with that being said, I see no reason for you not to purchase a vehicle, to not try it out. So it's a big thumbs up from me. So I highly recommend you to go ahead, pick this vehicle up, try it out, and let me know your thoughts and opinions of it in the comment section down below. And with this being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.